Hi, I'm Bob Moeller, and my wife Cheryl and I make our home here in Barrington, Illinois, in the northwest suburbs of Chicago. We've been married for 38 years now. We have 6 children, all of them grown. The oldest 35, the youngest going off to college this fall. We've been grandparents 4 times over, and loving that. Cheryl and I began this ministry, For Better, For Worse, For Keeps, back in 1992. And our burden at that time was to see if Christian marriages on the brink of divorce could be restored, and whether or not something could be done to stem the rising tide of divorce, particularly within the church. And that led to our first book, one we would eventually, I believe, publish 6 or 7, about marriage, and it was entitled For Better, For Worse, For Keeps, and it was the story of Jacob and Leah, and how though Jacob apparently married the wrong person, when he ended up married to Leah, in the end, God used that marriage to produce the royal line of Israel, David, Solomon, and ultimately Joseph and Mary and Jesus. And so sometimes we were convinced what looks like a mistake, God can turn around and use for his glory and our good. Cheryl and I began this ministry, For Better, For Worse, For Keeps, 8 years ago now. We're in our 8th year. And our mission statement is to heal hearts and to restore marriages in underserved communities. And by healing hearts, the heart is the place where we give and receive love. And if our hearts get damaged, then we have trouble giving and receiving love. And probably 90% of the damage, according to some researchers and authors, happens by the time we're age 18, so it's already in place by the time we get married. Yet we blame our spouse for the unhappiness that we often experience. And we are involved in a ministry that looks at how God can forgive sin and heal pain, 2 different categories that can damage our hearts, and bring couples back together again. By God's grace, we see about 80% of those couples who come to us for our week-long intensive ministry be restored, and they're often marriages near the end. The book we're writing now, The 6 Hearts of Married Sexual Intimacy, grows out of our conviction and study of Scripture that there are at least 6 different ways when it comes to physical intimacy that we give and receive love in terms of our emotions and our spirit. And those are the romantic heart, the guardian or covenant heart, the worship heart, the ecstatic heart, the giving heart, and the companion heart. Now, those can be interchanged among genders. We find the first 3, though, tend to be more important to women, the second 3 more important to men. And so our book is going to explore these 6 hearts and how if our spouse may have a different heart than we do, we can come to understand that and care for that heart. And we can even look at the counterfeits that are involved, say for the romantic heart or the giving heart, and how those counterfeits can be overcome and replaced with what is God's desired ideal. It has practical advice. It's not a book on technique. It's a book on attitude and the healing of the heart. So we're very excited to be partnering with Whitaker. Thankful that you're as excited about this project as we are. We look forward to getting it in the hands of couples and for them to begin to discover things about their spouse they may have never understood and never been able to relate to, but are very, very important. So we are eager to help market, promote, do interviews if that's appropriate. We've done that in the past with stations, and use whatever means or platform we have to support the sale of this book. Thank you again for believing in this, and together let's make a difference in the lives of couples. God bless you.